Hello everyone, Moose Torrent here, and today I want to talk about why I don't think Resident Evil 2 Remastered 2019 is a 10 out of 10 game for me. And I love the game. I thought it was amazing. After I played Leon's scenario, I was sitting at a 9 out of 10, and I was thinking to myself, after I played Claire, this is probably going to be a 10 out of 10 game, plus we get Hunk and Tofu on top of that. But after I did play Claire, I actually went down from a 9 to an 8. And it was because of the story inconsistencies between the first and second scenario and a lot of the overlap between puzzles and boss fights and that kind of stuff. And I guess I really do like the side missions like Hunk, Tofu, and the free DLC missions they added. So maybe I'd give it a 9 out of 10 for all that stuff too, but it's, as far as the story goes, an 8 out of 10 for me. Anyways, let me tell you why, and let me see if you agree, or maybe you think I'm just being nitpicky. But I'm the kind of person that if my immersion gets broken, I start thinking about like story inconsistencies. It really takes me out of the game, and I would have to take a point off for that. So there'll be some light spoilers going on here while I'm just showing you a Hunk playthrough I did, where I did really well right up until the end. I got bit 4 times, and then I've just been so discouraged. I haven't played Hunk since. Anyways, the story inconsistencies. And like I was saying, not just story inconsistencies, but item stuff, a lot of overlap. So Claire and Leon both get the diamond key in the same spot. So not only did Leon already use the diamond key and unlock all those doors, once he uses it, somehow they all get locked again. And the key flies all the way back through the police station, back down the ladder and into the morgue. And Claire opens the same spot and gets the key again and has to go and reopen all the doors. That's just something that would not happen. I was saying this during my playthrough. It'd be really cool if Leon and Claire both got 2 keys each, and the other doors were already unlocked, and they just spent more time ironing out who did what, so you got a more unique playthrough the second time. That's one of the things I was really excited about for the remake, when they said that Leon and Claire both had a set series of events that they would do, and it wasn't just A scenario, B scenario. It didn't matter who you did which playthrough with. And I thought that because of that, they'd be able to iron out the story inconsistencies and the overlap in the puzzles and stuff, and it would really feel like 2 different playthroughs. And it's really close to being like that, but there's just too much, in my opinion, to say they did a really good job with it. Another thing that happens is Leon goes down a ladder on the roof of the police station and it breaks. And for Claire, the ladder is just fine. And they make it seem like Claire is ahead. No, Claire's behind Leon, so the ladder should already have been broken and fallen down. And then she solves the same water puzzle. It's not really a puzzle. She extinguishes the flaming helicopter that Leon already extinguished, so it's like, well, that already happened. Why is that going on? And I'm going to be talking about this like you did Leon first and then Claire, just for the sake of explaining it, so I'm not qualifying everything I say with you could have did this with Claire or Leon, just to make things easier. Pretend you did Leon first and then you did Claire. The puzzle in the art room where you have the hand in the book, Leon does that and then Claire does the same thing. It's like, well, did Leon throw the arm in the book somewhere, hide it on purpose? I don't know. The 3 medallions that Leon places in the goddess statue, Claire has to refine those and place those back in the goddess statue. The typewriter and the chest that were in the main hall are gone. Like, that's not a big deal really, but like, are we supposed to pretend they were never there, or did someone move them? I don't know. Remember when you go into the library, you're on the 3rd floor and you fall through and land on the second floor of the library. That happens with both characters, so the floor must somehow rebuild itself. Kinda weird. You also, like I was saying, make it seem like Leon is ahead of Claire, but when you go into the interrogation room with Leon, the glass is already broken, and when you go in with Claire, the liquor pops out. So it's like the glass is broken, and then when Claire gets there, the glass repairs itself for a liquor to jump out. And I guess you could say at this point, Claire's ahead of Leon, but it's really murky. And it's just something I wish they would have ironed out a little bit better. Once you get into the sewer, Leon will get a flamethrower, and when you're in there with Claire, she gets a spark shot from the same spot. The puzzle is slightly different, but it's still the same hook with an item on it. And that's not that big a deal. They move the puzzle around, it's different enough, but in the original Resident Evil 2, there's a spot where you can get an item, like a weapon. You see there's two there, but you're only allowed to pick one, and your character will say, well, I have to leave one of these for Claire, and then you can get the other one on your second playthrough with the other character. And that's just really cool. It really feels like the stories are intertwined. What you do in one will affect what happens in the other one. Even if you want to have the set scenario where Leon gets a certain weapon and Claire gets the other one, it still connects them and feels like they are doing things that affect the other playthrough, and they feel like they're in the same spot. When you get to Nest, the plant is still pressing the same guy against the glass for both people. They both get the G-Virus vaccine from the same spot. A certain boss bursts through the ceiling for both characters, and somehow the ceiling repairs itself, I guess. And then they have a cutscene with Annette, and they do the same exact boss battle at the same exact spot, and it's just like, there's no way that would happen. And the cutscenes with Annette make it even more confusing because of like the differences they put in with Leon and Claire. Just, it's like basically impossible for both of those things to happen. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, so if you don't want spoilers, make sure you tune out. In the Claire scenario, Annette runs back with Sherry, and then it's heavily implied, actually I think it is canon, that Annette actually dies right there. So since Claire's ahead of Leon, like, how does Annette appear for the cutscene with Leon? Doesn't make any sense unless there's like clones of Annette running around just doing stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Just like, I like the game a lot, and I want to figure this out so it makes sense, but the more I think about it, it just makes less and less sense. And this kind of brings me to another thing that I wish they would have did, was to have a little more overlap in cutscenes with Leon and Claire actually being in the same spot, not doing the same things. But let me just use this Annette cutscene as an example. You can have it make sense if Leon and Claire both meet at this point, and then they both get like a similar cutscene, and maybe they both have the same boss fight but from different spots. Maybe Leon goes down to the ground and is actually fighting it, and Claire is up on like a level above that. She's also shooting at the eyeballs, but there are some other things she can do to activate, I don't know, some tanks that explode to help Leon. And it's a really fun boss fight, but you get it from two different angles. And then you iron out the story inconsistency with dead characters respawning or clones and double cutscenes that don't make any sense. And you kind of add another boss fight in there to make the game more interesting. And it was stuff like that I was expecting to see that I didn't get. And obviously disappointing. Oh, and one thing I totally forgot. Mr. X dies in Claire's playthrough. The tyrant in the trench coat, wearing a hat for some reason. He gets clawed to death by G Birkin with his G claw. And then Claire never sees him again. So when he's following around Leon during the rest of Leon's playthrough and he's the final boss for Leon, you have to figure out if there's another Mr. X. One following Claire, one following Leon. Maybe there's a bunch of them. And Umbrella just sent out a bunch to, you know, tie up all the loose ends. That's possible. But since it's not told to us, it seems like an inconsistency. But it might not be. That could be a nitpick. Let me know what you guys think, though. Did I miss any inconsistencies that really bothered you? These were just some of them that I wrote down at the time. It's definitely not every single one in the game, but let me know if you think I'm being just nitpicky, too harsh, or if you agree, or if I missed anything. Hope you guys enjoyed Resident Evil 2. I loved it. This is Moose Torrent, and I'll be back with another video for you shortly.
Why'd you come back?
I wanted to meet the Grim Reaper.